Alright, what's going on, guys? So, as promised, I'm going to make a part 2 of the Ricardo Lopez film study that I made. I think it was 2 years ago, which, if I'm going to be completely honest now, it was dog shit. It did not go deep on Ricardo Lopez's style. And I've seen like other channels do it as well, but I did not watch them. I'm pretty sure they didn't go deep as well. But I was talking about Ricardo Lopez when very few people are talking about Ricardo Lopez. So I want to do a part 2, and this is going to be a full breakdown now. So the first one that I want to talk about is the crisscross footwork that Ricardo Lopez has. And so let's see exactly what that is. So the crisscross rhythm or footwork is basically when your feet comes together. It is when your feet comes together right here, and the right foot comes past the left foot. So you can see Ricardo Lopez's right foot coming past his left foot. And it is a very people are going against it because it causes you to be off balance and stuff like that. Causes you to be caught. They say never put your feet together. And so Ricardo Lopez broke this rule and said, I'm gonna fucking do it. Now, there are 3 reasons in my opinion why he does this so much. The number one is he likes to use it to set up the L step, or moving to the right. What is the L step? So the L step is basically this. You started in an orthodox stance. That would be your straight line, and then you take that step to widen your stance, and now you form an L. That's an L step right there. Alright, so Ricardo Lopez is one of the few guys who are really good at moving to the right side. And the reason why he can do this L step so efficiently is because he does get into this crisscross position all the time. So even after he did this, you can see him walking, and he gets into that crisscross position many times. You see him going there. L step, crisscross, crisscross. And then finally he plants his feet, throws a right hand. Here's another one. Again, you see him taking that L step. You start with a straight line, and then he takes that L step. Now he forms a letter L. So it's a vertical line, and then he goes into a horizontal line. Now you form an L step. Try imagining a letter L right now. That's exactly what he's doing. He's moving to the right side. Boom. Then as you can see, after he moves to the right side, he does that crisscross, crisscross. His left foot goes past his right foot. And for a moment, he's in a bladed stance. There you go, crisscross again. And so basically what ends up happening is, instead of going around the ring or to the right side in a squared stance, he uses the crisscross right here to stay in an orthodox stance while moving to the right side. So he walks with the crisscross, and then we're going to see here again. So the L step happens here again. He intercepts that with his left hand, and then he takes the orthodox stance, which is the vertical line again. He does the L step, boom, horizontal line, and now you form an L. After he does that L step, watch what happens. Boom, he takes that crisscross once again. So left foot comes past the right foot. And most people are against this because it causes you to be off balance, it causes you to be off angle at times, and you're not really at a right angle to punch in. But Ricardo Lopez broke this rule, and we're gonna go deep into why he did it. Here's the last example. Again, you see him taking that L step, stepping in. That's the vertical line. And then right here takes that L step. Now you form the letter L. So vertical, horizontal. Now you form the letter L. Or you can even call it a 7, number 7, based on that angle. So after he takes that L step, boom, again, you see him crisscrossing. And it prevents him from moving to the left side, because most boxers just find it more comfortable to move on the left side. Ricardo Lopez likes to move on the right side. That's why he does that crisscross a lot. Again, he does it there. Number 2, why the fuck does he do the crisscross rhythm? Number 2 is, we're gonna move to the left side now. He likes to pivot away on the left side. So let me show you how he does it. So right here, as you can see, he puts his foot closer together first before pivoting away on the ropes. Boom. Let me show you one more time. So he starts at a crisscross stance here. There you go, crisscross right there. For a moment, you're gonna see it. Go ahead and see it for yourself. He goes into a crisscross position there for a while, and then it makes it easier for him to square up and then pivot away from the ropes. Here's another one. So, starts off moving to the left again. He gets into that crisscross position. And why does he do that? Because it makes it easier for him to transition to a squared stance. So all he does, or all he has to do here, is move that left foot over to the left side, and he can pivot away right there. Again, here, crisscross, pivot away right there. So he did it twice. You can just see it for yourself here. Crisscross, pivot away. Crisscross, pivot away. That's why he does the crisscross a lot, because it makes it easier for him to square up and pivot away from the ropes. So if he's not moving to the right, he's moving to the left, but he's not moving to the left like Sugar Ray Leonard. He moves to the left by doing that crisscross stance and slipping while moving his left foot, transitioning to a wider stance. The number 3 reason why he does it is because he wants to stay in stance. So remember I told you a while ago, Ricardo Lopez does not move laterally like most fighters. Most fighters square up. Ricardo Lopez likes to stay in his stance, especially when moving to the right side. So here, most boxers, when they move to the right or to the left, they are usually in a squared stance. Lopez doesn't do that. So there he gets into a crisscross stance and then decides to pivot away. Crisscross, pivot, and he does this all the time, guys. Does it all the time, staying in stance again. In this instance, he's going to move to the right, and again you'll see him do that crisscross, which is a highly avoided mistake for some fighters. They don't get into this position too much. They try to avoid doing it, but Lopez has perfected it, and he understood that in order to stay in your stance while moving to the right, you're going to have to get into this position. So see it one more time. Crisscross, slip, uppercut, boom. Last one here. Again, he gets into that crisscross stance. Boom. His left foot is passed. His right foot. He's kind of in a bladed stance right now. But the advantage of that is he stays in his stance. So pretty much, technically, he is still in an orthodox stance right here. As opposed to a Sugar Ray Leonard or a Caleb Plant or a Floyd Mayweather, where if you look at them moving to the right, they are squared up. They are squared up. They don't stay in their stance. And being able to stay in your stance is very important because it gives you opportunities to punch. So here, even if he's moving to the right, he's still able to sneak in that right hand. Why? Because he's in a proper stance. And he's able to produce power on that right hand by not squaring up and by putting the right hand in the rear, staying in his orthodox stance. Alright, so that was just part 1. The rest of the film study will be on Patreon. You can go there if you want to. Like, come on, what the fuck do you have to lose with $3? You have to be a broke ass motherfucker to think that $3 is a big fucking loss. Anyway, the content of the video that I'll post on Patreon is creating angles with the scissor footwork, which is not anything like you've heard before. It's not like how it's not like how Lomachenko creates angles, or someone like Floyd Mayweather create angles. No one has ever talked about this. Number 3, jab precision. Number 4, lead hand trickery. Number 5, chopping right cross. Number 6, opportunistic timing. And then finally, we're gonna dig deep on the weaknesses of the style of Ricardo Lopez, because I've never seen anyone actually criticize the weaknesses of this style. How the fuck did I know? Because I tried to mimic Ricardo Lopez for the first years of my boxing. So it was Miguel Cotto, and then it was Ricardo Lopez. So if there's anyone who knows the weaknesses and the openings or the vulnerabilities of this particular style, it will be me, because I experience all the fucking consequences that comes with adopting this style. So just like how Marquez has the consequences, or just like how Marquez or Juan Francisco Estrada was able to suffer the consequences of this style, you can also suffer the consequences of this particular style. Any style is vulnerable, and any style has its own disadvantages, so I kind of want to look at that as well.